welcome back to another booktube video from me, Anna, at Cask and Quill. Since we somehow have passed the midpoint of the year already in 2017, I just don't even believe that that's real. I'm not even over May yet and it's already nearly August. I'm just, where, how, I don't know. Anyway, I thought I would like to share with you kind of my own version of the mid-year freakout tag. I'm not going to do quite exactly that, but I just want to talk to you about the favorite books that I've read so far this year. I also have a blog post up on my website about this same topic if you're interested in checking out in a little bit more detail about each of the books, but I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown of what those are. So the first book that I absolutely loved this year, and I mean, I've read a lot of really great books this year, so it was actually pretty hard to make this list, but one that continues to stand out in my mind is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I can't say enough about this book. It was so fantastic, just such a real treat to read. Also, fair warning, you are probably going to want to set out on your own solo hike somewhere in the world. I totally did. In fact, I even went so far as to buy some hiking boots online that didn't fit me, and then I forgot to return within the allotted amount of time. So at some point I do need to go back and get the store credit option on these hiking boots. Yeah, so just, you've been warned. I haven't yet seen the movie that Reese Witherspoon has made, but I've heard good things about it, and I don't actually know why I haven't seen that yet. Probably because I've been reading. I would highly recommend Wild if you haven't read it yet. It's just such an incredible nonfiction story, and I've really gotten into nonfiction stories, especially about travel. This year, that's always been an interest of mine, but this year I've really dug into it. I've also been reading. I just finished Under the Tuscan Sun. I talked about that last week. And I'm also planning to read The Year of Living Danishly, coming up pretty soon here. Oh, and I read Eat, Pray, Love. So yeah, it's kind of a theme for this year. Anyway, Wild is just this amazing story about how this woman is kind of hit rock bottom and just decides to pick up and hike the Pacific Crest Trail alone, something she's never done and hasn't really prepared for totally, and sort of what happens to her along the way. There's a lot of flashbacks and times where she's thinking about her life, and you'll laugh, cry, and everything in between. It's just really good. I highly recommend it to anybody to read. I'm probably going to reread it as soon as I can. It's just a really incredible story, and you won't regret reading it. So keeping with that theme, and as already mentioned, I also read Eat, Pray, Love this year by Elizabeth Gilbert. And this was another one that I just really could not put down. I read it in just a matter of a few days, and I was just so enthralled with her journey and how she decides to just pick up and explore the world on her own, but she has a plan. The book is really at its core about searching for the balance between enjoying the pleasures of life while also staying true to your spirituality. And I just found the whole journey to be incredibly interesting, and hearing about all the little things she learns and all the amazing people she meets, it's just really cool. I would definitely check it out. It's a really fast read, like I said. The chapters are broken down into pretty small sections, so you could easily read, one or two a day, or you could just sit down and burn through them in a day or two like I did. Haven't actually seen the movie for that one either, so I should really probably do a marathon of those. I have, however, seen the movie of Under the Tuscan Sun, like I talked about last week. Love that movie. But yeah, now that I've read the full book, completely different. There are some similarities, obviously, and you can tell that that's where the stories come from. But they're like night and day. This next one might be kind of surprising. It was to me. It's The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. I don't know why this book stuck with me as much as it did. I guess I just love fairy tales and myth, and I really got into it. It was so interesting to see some of the same tropes and the same morals being played out in the wizarding world. It was really cool. The stories are so inventive, and obviously, consider the source. It's just really good, really entertaining, a very fast read, but the stories really stuck with me, and I really loved reading it. It was so great. Especially if you're a Harry Potter fan, I would definitely recommend this one, but really to anybody, I think it would be a really fun choice. Another nonfiction book I read this year was Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. It's definitely a book for writers or other creatives, but I think there's really something for everybody in this book, even if you don't have a creative bone in your body. It's broken into a lot of really short essays about writing and about just creating a routine for your craft. It's a really amazing book. I have definitely gained a lot from it and already started to put in use a lot of her tips from the book. Again, it's not necessarily a how-to manual, but it is really enjoyable to read just straight through. Another book I couldn't stop thinking about this year was The Fire This Time, and this is actually a collection of essays from various authors. I won't name them all, but look it up if you're interested. It's actually somewhat of a response to James Baldwin's The Fire Next Time. If you haven't read that, I would highly, highly recommend it. I think it should be required reading for everybody. I read it last summer, I believe, and was just amazed by it. This is a modern collection of essays and poems that talk about the Black experience in America now, and it's really refreshing and powerful to read back to back what all of these different people are seeing and thinking. I just found it so eye-opening and stark. I would definitely recommend you start with The Fire Next Time if you haven't read that, and then pick up this one. They're both fairly short and easy reads, and again, I would just say they are totally life-altering. The perspectives that you gain from them are just incredible. So last week I mentioned that I'm reading A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. I did not finish in time before the new season started, which means I did not finish my rewatch of all the other seasons, but that is okay. I'm still not done reading it, but I plan to pick it up again in August. But that being said, Clash of Kings was actually on my list of favorite books that I've read so far this year. There's not much more to say than the whole series so far has just been amazing for me. I'm already getting excited about rereading them, and I'm not even done reading the series. So it's something that I would definitely recommend. If you like the show, definitely pick up and start reading the books. I don't think it's too late to start. And especially now that the show's almost over, like, you'll have some free time. You'll need to get that Game of Thrones fix, and I think reading the books is definitely the place to get it. So that wraps up my top 5 favorite books of the first half of 2017. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Also, let me know in the comments what were your favorite books that you've read so far this year. And also let me know if you have found that you have a little bit of a theme to your reading this year, like I have with the solo female travel books. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you next time. Bye!